request everybody to also put in a copy of your assignments in eLib. When you hand in to Dr. Ambrose by email, you also need to hand in a copy on eLib, because we need to submit like the best, medium, and the highest, best, medium, and a poor copy later on as part of the course file. So I need a copy. I mean, there's only 5 groups, so we'll probably submit everything and put it in the course file lah. Yeah, and the course file will be reviewed by different people, like maybe MQA, you know, and the external examiner, you know, and then also like there's another one that they will also look at it as well. There's about three people will be looking at the course file to check the course file and all that lah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so one copy. So you can just mark according to the email copy, but then the one that they email, they put it on eLib. That one is just only for our record only lah. Yeah.
Yeah. Before the student put in the lip, I require them to get my approval first, so that I want to make sure it is the best that they can have done for the group lah. Yeah.
Sure. I mean, but the eLib date actually and the time is the same as your submission time and date lah. So when they submitted to you, they also submit one copy to eLib lah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So Dr. Ambrose, I will leave you to it. Have a good day, everybody.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Ting. Yeah, we will try our best today. Yeah.
Okay, see ya.
Thank you, Dr. Ting.
Okay, so now I can start sharing, yeah?
Yes, doctor.
Oh, you in already, Natia?
Yes. Mandi kerbau.
Mandi kerbau, yeah. I'm trying to find the say button, but I can't find it. Where is it? Is it Dr. Ting already went out, right?
Yeah, I went out already.
Went out. Mana sharing say ni ka? Say sharing, yeah?
Share. You just press the share button.
Just tekan say kan?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, but
Okay, now I tekan dia. Say content. Content is it? Say content is it?
yeah.
Okay. Okay, all right. Share. Okay, can you see?
Boleh.
Okay. Boleh.
Boleh. Okay, very good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
Today is a wonderful day. Why? Because I have the chance to meet you all again. Yeah, God give me the beautiful life. Yeah, we pray for everybody to have a good life, good health, yeah, happiness and prosperity, yeah. And very important, your assignment, yeah. Nania, your group, if you have completed, just submit it first, yeah.
By tomorrow I will do the submission. I got some little bit of edit here and there.
Oh, that's good, yeah. And group 3, thank you for your submission. I already downloaded it, and I will look into your draft after this class, yeah. Group 3. Okay. So the rest of the group, there are 3 more group. Don't worry, just submit your draft. I'll try to help you wherever I can, yeah. Okay, today this is our 3rd class, yeah, 5th of March, 8 to 11 a.m. Today we're talking about state land ordinance, and actually there's no act for land related issue in Malaysia, yeah. We have the National Land Code in 1965, yeah, This national land code covers Semenanjung, Malaysia, together with Kuala Lumpur, Putrajaya, and Labuan. Yeah. And Sarawak, we have different land code. Yeah, we call it Sarawak land code, land ordinance. Whereas our counterpart in Sabah, yeah, they also have different land code. They call it Sabah land ordinance. Yeah, so we have two ordinance, yeah, for Sabah and Sarawak, and one land code for Semenanjung, Malaysia. Yeah. So later on we will see what are the similarities, what are the differences. We can look at it later. Yeah. I hope, Natia, you are from Semenanjung, right? You are the only one from Semenanjung, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Wherever possible, from your experience or knowledge, yeah, we share about the National Land Code, yeah, 1965, yeah. And
Okay.
those from Sabah that I know from Sabah is Amelina and Zainuddin, right? Am I right,
Yeah.
Amelina? Amelina.
That's right. Yes.
So Zai is outstation today. He won't be able to join. He apologized to us, and I hope Amelina, whatever knowledge or whatever experiences you have with your Sabah national Sabah land ordinance, please share with us, yeah, because we would like to learn from your side. And Sarawak, there are many of us from Sarawak, yeah. We have Edri, Rally, Victor, Fazana, Imira, Clarence, Alberte, yeah. So we should be giving a lot of feedback and sharing of knowledge and experience, yeah. The Sarawakian land code, yeah. So when you share your knowledge, your experiences, you make yourself better. You know, you add to your own knowledge, yeah. So don't be stingy with knowledge or with your experiences. Learn to share them to enhance your own knowledge, and at the same time, our friends, yeah, our friends, in this case, our classmates, yeah, we all learn from you together, yeah. So this is a common objective journey of learning together from your knowledge, your expertise, and your experiences, yeah. And do I make myself clear? Yeah, yeah. Very good. Yeah. Now, what is land law in Malaysia? If we ask you this question, yeah. Malaysia land law follow the torrent system, or sometimes they call it the land registration system. How the land being registered, the system of registering the land, yeah, in Malaysia. And this will be clearly explained under the National Land Code, yeah. As I mentioned just now, it only applies to West Malaysia, yeah, Semenanjung, Malaysia, together with Putrajaya and Labuan and Kuala Lumpur, yeah. So it includes the relevant areas, yeah, such as tenancies and leases, yeah, and the transfer and the registration of property ownership, yeah, the charges and the liens over land as security, and the use and the access of the land, yeah. So if I look at the National Land Code, very comprehensive, yeah. I think about 3 very thick land code compared with Sabah and Sarawak. land ordinance a bit more, I should say, not as bulky as the National Land Code, yeah. So I summarize all the relevant thing, and then if you want to have a look at the real National Land Code, later on I will email to all of you, yeah. I try to highlight all the relevant section, yeah, that we must be aware of, yeah. Maybe we can't remember here, but we must be aware, yeah. All right. So background of the National Land Code, yeah. So the National Land Code is the law regarding land administration in the Peninsular Malaysia, yeah. The National Land Code introduced in the form of a uniform system within the state of Johor, Kedah, Kelantan, Melaka, Negeri Sembilan, Pahang, Penang, Perak, Perlis, Selangor, and Terengganu. Yeah, the spelling error here. Yeah? Terengganu. Okay. And it does not apply to the. Now we are not Sarawak. Now is not a state. Yeah, Sarawak now is a region. Yeah. So Sabah. I don't know when are you going to pass your Dewan Undangan Sarawak Sabah to upgrade your status as per the federal constitution, yeah. We are waiting for your side to move forward. Amalina, any idea bila mau debat dalam Dewan Sabah?
I'm not so sure.
Not so sure, ya.
But
Tak ada cerita dalam surat khabar ke?
I don't actually read.
Okay, fair enough.
But
Thank you,
it's
yeah.
between the state and region.
Yeah. Okay, nothing in this act can affect the previous implementation. Yeah, whatever it has been implemented before, it cannot be affected by this act, or anything that is made under any previous land law, so far as they relate to land. Yeah, the provision of any other law enacted before the commencement of this act. So those things that has been passed before the commencement of this act, they stand as they were at the time. Yeah, except ada exception, yeah, except in so far as it is expressly provided to the contrary, unless stated otherwise. That's what it means, yeah. Nothing in this act shall affect the provision. These are the contoh, yeah, contoh the provision, yeah. Any law for the time being in force relating to customary tenure. Yeah, they give example, yeah. Any law for the time being in force relating to the Malay reservation or Malay holding. Yeah, number 2, any law for the time being in force relating to mining, relating to the Sultanate land. Yeah, we have all the state have Sultan except Penang, Melaka, Putrajaya, KL, and Labuan. They don't have Sultan. Yang lain tuh semua ada Sultan, ya. And then any law in force relating to wakaf. Wakaf in the Islamic call it Bait Umal, is it? Baitul Umal, is it? Amelina, betul kah? Wakaf is Baitul Umal.
Yes.
Yeah, can explain a bit. Maybe sharing lah. Amelina, what is this wakaf?
Actually, I'm not very sure about.
Oh, not very sure. Imira?
I think Baitumal is like you giving, you pay your zakat and then like, or you give sedekah to to a
Ah,
badan, like to a
see.
organization like Baitumal, and then they will actually give out back the money to the people in needs.
That's a very good concept, right?
I remember
They collect money, those who can afford to pay, I suppose, yeah. And
Everyone have
then,
to pay zakat if they are eligible. There's like a certain amount. Like for example, your income is like, if you reach, I don't know, like for gold also we have to pay zakat, and then we give it to Baitumal, and then Baitumal will actually use the money to help like the people in needs.
I see.
Yeah.
This one is stated in the Al-Quran, I believe, yeah.
Yes, it is. It is stated in the
Yeah.
Quran. Yeah.
Yeah. The same with the Christian Emira, yeah. I think in the Bible also stated, I think we need to pay 10% of our income to the church, you know. So I think the concept is the same. Yeah. So, and this money given to the church is to help the poor. Yeah. So for me, for my Roman Catholic Church, we sedekah whenever there is disaster in Malaysia, in Sarawak, or the world, we sedekah. We don't care whether they are Christian or non-Christian, but we collect the money to help the victim through this 10% donation. Yeah. So it looks like the concept is the same, and it's also stated in the Bible. Yeah. I think it's 10%. Albert, is it 10%? Albert? Albert, eh?
Albert not in.
Oh, not in. Okay. Natia, how about are you Hindu? Sorry, Natia. Are you Hindu?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. How about the Hindu? They have this kind of thing or not?
They have, but we don't have a certain percentage. It depends on how much you can give. Depends on your affordability.
Oh, you don't have a percentage lah, and then
Yeah, because
it,
not
it
everyone can, like afford to pay, give these some donations and all.
yeah,
Can I add
yeah,
something, Doctor?
yeah. I think the Christian also the same. Even though it's stated 10%, but if they cannot
It
afford,
depends.
they will not to say exempted lah. I mean, they know themselves lah whether they can contribute or
Yeah,
not lah.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So in other words, all religion looks to me, we have only one objective. Yeah, if you can afford it, you can contribute and help the poor. Yeah, yeah, very good. Yeah, okay. And the next one is the Terengganu Settlement Enactment 1356. My God, lamanya ya. The Paddy Planters, Paddy Cultivators Act 1967. Plantan Land Settlement Act 1955. All this, yeah. I don't need to read it all, yeah. Okay. Why is the National Land Court created? Yeah. Initially is Act 56. That means 56 is the year the act was passed. So in the year 1965, so the act become Act 56 at the time lah. Okay. And the main object of the court is to ensure uniformity, very important, yeah. In terms of the law, yeah, the law and the policy with respect to land tenure, yeah. Is it in perpetuity? Is it certain period, you know? And then the registration of title to the land, yeah. And when you transfer the land, yeah, it has to be done in terms of uniformity. The leases and the charge, yeah, in respect of the land, yeah, and then the easement and other rights and interests in the land, yeah. So this land court is very useful, yeah, because it can help all the people of Semenanjung, yeah, to ensure that they understand. And then there is uniformity in terms of those aspects that we mentioned just now, yeah. So under the National Land Code, yeah, land can be categorized into 5 categories, yeah, 5 group, yeah, okay. Alienated land, these are land that are registered title, yeah. When we talk about alienated land, that is those land having registered title, yeah, okay. And the second one is mining land, yeah. Normally mining land, they are given mining leases, yeah. And these leases normally they have tempo period, yeah. Yeah, you have any idea of how long the mining leases in Semenanjung, yeah?
Mining leases.
Yeah. For example, tin mine, I think, I suppose, yeah.
I'm not sure, but I think it's about, it cannot exceed 21 years. I'm not sure.
Yeah. The one we have in Sarawak, the coal mine, yeah, near Sriaman. The coal mine near Sriaman. The workers last time, you know, they are from North Korea. Very surprised, huh? The workers working in the coal mine in Sarawak, they are from North Korea until the case where they murder the, what's the name of the guy, yeah? The North Korean guy, forgot today. Until they murdered this guy, yeah, in the airport, KLIA, yeah. Only then that Sarawakian know that the workers working there are from North Korea. And for your information, the coal that Sarawak produce is the best coal in the world. Yeah, so Sarawak have a very good quality of coal. Yeah, and this lease, I understand, is given 50 years, I think. 50 years. Yeah, it's a local based company lah. Yeah. Okay. And the number C is the reserve land. Yeah. These are land reserved for public purpose. Yeah. This is under section 62 of the National Land Code. Now, what do you mean by land reserved for public purpose? Really, are you here? Are you with us, really?
Yes, Dr. Ambrose, yes, I'm here.
Yeah, good, really. I miss your feedback. I mean, your contribution. Yeah, can you explain what do you understand by land reserved for public purpose?
I think in a sense of for the national land code, reserve land is that reserve that normally that we use before we construct the construction lah, development, like in Sarawak, apa punya, kalau dekat Sarawak we do have the state land, right? So the state land that we use for buat transportation, roads and all the developments. But for the national overall, like in West Malaysia, I am not really sure. Is it the same with I also wanted to ask a question, Doctor.
We ask Netia first, then I will explain again later. Yeah, Netia.
Yeah. I think that the reserve land is for like before we do the construction lah. So we do have a reserve land, macam before we buat jalan lah. So we must have a reserve land lah. That's my understanding.
Yeah, thank you, Lily. About Netia, you want to add to that?
The reserve land is for public use. Is, I think, I'm not sure, but for example, if they have a land which is not being used, they can use to build a shopping mall for public purposes, or mosque or temple or something like that, residential areas, something like that.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to know what is meant by public purpose first. Public purpose mean to be used for all public.
Yeah.
Like Rally mentioned correctly, Janau Road is one. What
Okay.
else that are built for public? Hospital, clinic, right?
Hospital, clinic, yeah.
Yeah. What else beside hospital, clinic? Schools,
Schools.
Schools. Yeah.
university, right? Yeah. So these are built for public purpose. MRT, yeah. All the railway, yeah. These are built. Airport, they are built for public purpose. Yeah. Public purpose mean anybody, any public, any people in the population can use. So these are public purpose, yeah, which is defined under section 62. And this reserve land, it could be government land or it could be private land. Yeah. If it is a private land, then the government have to compensate the land based on the market value. Yeah. And we have audited the what do you call the road built by the soldier in Sarawak? Jalan apa?
Project Jiwa Murni.
Project Jiwa Murni. Yeah, I audited all those projects built by the army in Sarawak. Yeah. Okay. Now, when we audited the project, yeah, one of the main issue is the quality of the road. Yeah. There are many issue involve quality. One of the major finding is the road was not built up to JKR standard. Yeah, very hilly, very narrow, lack of safety measures taken. Yeah, and the worst thing, they did not compensate for the land use, the NCR land. You know what is NCR land, Natia or Amalina?
No. Non.
I think it's the native customary right plan.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, betul. Dayang Nov Amalina, yeah, is the native customary rights land, yeah, whereby this Jawa Murni Road, it goes through all the native land, yeah, and normally this NCR land, they have no title yet, yeah. Some may have title now, but those going through the Jiwa Murni Road project, there is no land title. Yeah. And when I check the agreement, the road construction agreement between the Ministry of Defense and the developer, yeah, there was no mention of any compensation to be paid to the NCR landowners. And this is one of the proposal we put forward to the Ministry of Defense, that the next Jiwa Murni Road, the subsequent one, must have clause that all NCR land involved must be compensated based on market value. And they agree with us. Yeah. Right. So that is reserve land, yeah. And the forest reserve land gazetted under the National Forestry Act 1984. What is the purpose of this forest reserve? Yeah, anybody have any idea? Azana, how are you?
Hi, doctor.
Hi.
Okay, so my opinion, my
Yeah,
forest
your
reserve
understanding.
is
Yeah, your understanding.
yeah. My understanding is it is an area where forest set aside and preserved by the government.
Can you give any example in Sarawak? Yeah.
In Sarawak, I'm not sure, doctor.
In Sarawak, you have a Bako National Park, very famous Bako National Park. Yeah. And the Mulu National Park, the biggest cave in the world. Do you know that, Natia?
Yes, I know that.
Yeah, you must go there, Natia. It's the best cave in the world. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't have a chance to go Sarawak yet. Maybe
You
for
better come
graduation.
here lah. Don't waste your time in Nanyong there all the time. Yeah, come and learn from us. Yeah.
Sure, sure.
Okay. And then we have the state land. Yeah. All land in the state other than the above mentioned. That means other than A, B, C, D. Lain-lain itu adalah tanah kerajaan. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes we forgot to mention, you know. Don't forget to mention the government have land. Yeah. The government have plenty of land. Okay. Any question to that? No.
And Doctor, Riley here.
Yeah.
I'm just curious about the like in West Malaysia, like right, they have the Malay reserve land. So is it included in the reserve land that? But that one is not used for public, right?
Yes, you're right. We will look into that later. Yeah.
Oh,
In
okay.
Nanyong they have the Malay reserve land. Yeah, just like the native in Sabah and Sarawak, they have the Malay. I mean, they have the native reserve land. So Nanyong wise, they have the Malay reserve land, and they also have the Aborigine land for the orang asli. You know.
Yes.
We will go through it later also. Yeah. That is a relevant question. Yeah, because that reflects the reality in Malaysia. Yeah. All right. Okay. And then in addition to that, we have the National Land Council. Yeah. This is under Article 91(5). Yeah. Whereby the National Land Council makes the national policies for the development, very important, and control. Yeah. You just don't just develop. You must control the use of the land. Yeah. For the whole of Malaysia, for the purpose of mining, agriculture, forestry, or any other purpose. Yeah. Later on, we will look into what happened to the case in Cameron Highland. Yeah. I have the case later on down the line of our lecture. Yeah. How we try our best to develop Cameron Island, but we fail to control the use of the land. And as a result, you know what is happening to Cameron Highland before that? Anybody can remember in the newspaper? It come out.
The one they use the land to build something. No.
Whereby there's a serious flood, right?
Plan, yeah.
Yes, and the flood bulldozed the whole settlement, the whole agriculture activities, the houses, all these being washed away by very bad flood. Why do you think this flood happened? Why?
Construction.
Over construction. What are the main activity in Cameron Highland? There are two main activities.
Deforestation.
Sorry?
Deforestation.
Deforestation. Yeah. What did they do? Number one, what is the main economic activity in Cameron Highland? Number one. Apa yang
Plantation.
Cameron Highland keluarkan sekarang?
Tea, yeah.
Agriculture
Tea.
product. One of them is tea. Another beside that, flowers. Beside that,
Flowers.
vegetable,
Vegetable.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you enjoy the vegetable from Cameron only 5 ringgit. 5 ringgit 90. When it reach Kuching, the price double lah, Natia.
Oh, okay. Next time I come to Sarawak, I buy
Yeah.
and.
So
But
you
it
must,
reads Semenanjung also. I mean, it reads Selangor also. It's same.
is it?
When we buy, yes, example like when we buy petai, there about for about 1 kg is about 10 to 15 ringgit. When it comes here, 3-4 batang only is 10 ringgit like that.
Oh, it means the price also increase, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we have the local petai here, not so expensive, I think. Yeah, in Sarawak, yeah, we have the local petai. But the vegetable import from Cameron to Kuching is, memang I see the price is double. We are paying double. Yeah.
Oh,
So later on, we will look into it in more detail, yeah, the Cameron Highland case. What kind of condition they did not follow, the land condition, yeah, and why it happened, how it happened, and we can see the Auditor General report, yeah, the Auditor General report. For your information, this National Audit Department, yeah, is one of the best department in Malaysia. Why I say so? They report on real issue, and no politician ever tell them they cannot check this, they cannot not check that. Everything they can check and everything they report. What we cannot report in the Auditor General are those that relate to defend. Yeah, those that relate to defend or sensitive information to protect the interest of Malaysia against other country. That we don't report in the Auditor General report, the yearly Auditor General report. But the report must go to the government. It means going to the relevant ministry, the relevant department, and who are supervising, who are controlling this ministry or this department. They must know and they must take action based on the report given to them.
can share an article.
Yeah, Nadia, anything?
Can share the audit report.
Yeah, what's your question?
Can you share the audit report?
Oh, can I share? Sure. When we reach Cameron Highland case, that is part of the audit report. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we look into what they write. Yeah, and the report are very objective. You know, I explain to you roughly how the report goes. Yeah. The first thing that they must do is they prepare the planning memorandum. For example, when they want to audit the Cameron Highland, they must prepare the audit planning memorandum. That means they want to make sure that everything about the Cameron Highland problem, issue, yeah, on environment, on land use that are not according to the purpose. Yeah, they didn't follow the condition. They did not pay the rent. All this kind of thing, you know, they are covered A to Z. Okay. Once they draft it, then they will engage the relevant department, relevant ministry, relevant authority to make sure that what they do is right and not going sideways. Yeah. Only after they give the feedback, they will have the meeting with them, you know, what we call entrance conference. That is the first we meet them, they have the entrance conference. Yeah. After the entrance conference, then they will start to do the audit. Yeah. It depends on the complexity of the audit topic. Yeah. For example, one MDB case is very, 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 very complex. You know, when one MDB case first started, the police don't know what to do. They don't know how to start. The SPRM also the same. They don't know how to start. We also, initially, we find it difficult, but because we know how to find the audit trail, you know, we know how to find the audit trail, so the auditors can do it. Because there is no document to see. There is no agreement to see. How are you going to audit? But the auditors, with their experience, with their expertise, their knowledge, they can come out with the audit trail and put it nicely, you know. And the auditors have to brief the police, to brief the SPRM, and say with them, you know, what are the issues involved. in one MDB. And that is how these people start to do their own work according to their own authority. Yeah. So that's why I tell you the National Audit Department is one of the best department in Malaysia. Yeah. You never heard of people complaining about the National Audit Department. They did not do their job, or they didn't do the job properly. Yeah. Because inside there, we really do our job based on the mandate given in the Audit Act. Yeah. And we always remind ourselves, we serve the country, the people. Yeah. So we owe to the people of Malaysia to do our best. Yeah. Okay, sorry menyimpang sedikit ya.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting, yeah. So that is how when we come in from outside the university, we bring in our exposure, our experience, which the university don't have. The lecturers in the university, they don't have the first-hand info like me. Yeah. All that I share with you are first-hand information explained by me. So it's direct to the point. Yeah. Okay. So the council decision, yeah, the National Land Council decision is binding on both the federal government and the state government, yeah. So from now on, all of you also must be aware that Sarawak and Sabah is equal authority, equal level to West Malaysia, yeah. Yeah, now, and Sarawak already amended the Dewan Undangan Negeri ordinance, yeah, whereby we are same level with Nanyong now, yeah, except Sabah have not done anything, yeah. So they are still one of the states in Malaysia unless they amend the Dewan Undangan Negeri Sabah, yeah. Okay. So what does state land means, yeah? Okay. State land means property on, control. Remember, yeah, control or operated by a department, agency, institution, or political subdivision of the state. Okay. What is the difference between department and agency? Any one of you working in the government department, yeah? Nobody?
No.
No, all working in the private sector, yeah? Never mind.
Yes.
Based on what do you know, or what do you think, yeah? What is the difference between department and agency? I mentioned just now, yeah. For example, Jabatan Kesehatan Sarawak, that is department, jabatan. Department is jabatan, yeah. Agency is University Malaysia Sarawak. Unimas is agency. Can you see the difference? Hello?
Cannot quite understand.
Not quite understand. Okay. Let me see first. Now, a department,
Yeah.
is purely run by government.
Okay.
Government. Agency like University Malaysia Sarawak or Yayasan Sarawak, they are not purely government department. They have some kind of autonomy. That means they did not follow the government rules and regulation entirely, 100% no. They have their own rules and regulation made by the agency itself.
So meaning all the public universities is considered under agency?
Agency, correct. Yeah. For example, Yayasan Sarawak. MARA is also agency, Mara.
Agency, yeah.
Yes, Felda is also agency. Yeah. Jabatan Kesehatan Negeri Selangor, that is department.
Okay.
Any
University
name?
Malaya,
Sorry.
University Malaya under agency also.
Yes, that is also agency. Yeah. That's why University Malaya, they can have their own subsidiary. Yeah, they can come out with their own subsidiary, and this is encouraged by the government, whereby they want the university to be self-financing. Yeah, so I think UNIMAS also have a subsidiary that manage this course. You know, so that subsidiary will collect all the money that you people pay to this
Okay.
Subsidiary company, and they will pay all the expenses related to this course from this collection. That means the university is not directly involved, but managed by the UNIMAS subsidiary. Yeah, the reason is because the government try to make the university self-financing. That means they don't 100% depend on the government to run the courses. Yeah, they can like University Malaya, I think they are able to generate a lot of money through many kind of sources of operation. Yeah. Okay. Is it clear, Natia? Are you clear now?
Yeah. Yes, yes.
So these are the type of thing that sometimes people confuse what is department, what is agency. Yeah. Now, what is ministry? Ministry normally is based in Putrajaya for the federal government. Yeah. Like me, I work in the Ministry of Kesehatan, Ministry of Health, 5 years. I have worked with Ministry of Finance for 3 years, and Ministry of Science, Technology, and Innovation for 2 years. Yeah, so I have experience not only at the level of Sarawak, but higher up at Putrajaya level. Yeah, at the co-decision making level. Yeah, so my experience is very wide and very varied. Yeah, and I was the deputy director of the National Audit Training Center. Yeah, Institute for 2 years. Yeah, whereby we also train auditors from all other part of the world. Yeah, and I'm one of the main speaker for the foreign international student. Yeah, either they're sponsored by World Bank or sponsored by Malaysia. By the way, we also sponsor other country, to learn in Malaysia and paid by the Malaysian government. Ya, hebat ya Malaysia. Okay.
Tapi kenapa tak sponsor budak sendiri?
Sorry Nadia. Sorry Nadia. I didn't get you.
I
Tapi
thought
kenapa
ada JPA, no?
JPA dia, it is like only for the good scholar students, that kind of.
The ones actually this peruntukan, the budget is handled by the foreign ministry. Okay, the money is stuck with the foreign ministry. Yeah, they have what they call it bilateral training fund. Maybe it could be between Malaysia and Thailand, like that, Malaysia and Vietnam, like that. Yeah, bilateral. Yeah, and sometimes also other country also sponsored us, like US. They sponsor our officers to study in US 3 months. I was sent to UK, yeah, for 3 months. Yeah, very good experience, yeah, working in UK for 3 months. Yeah.
How they choose? Based on what they choose? Like,
How do they
macam
choose?
mana? Ya, macam mana
One
kita punya experience?
one thing, you must be able to perform. I mean, your work must be better than the rest. One thing, and you have the qualification. Yeah, I got my PhD. Yeah, and sorry to say lah, not to say I'm proud of myself. I'm very proud of myself, and I can even do better than the auditors in UK. Yeah, based on our presentation, how we participate in the discussion. This is what our lecturers told us, the feedback. Yeah, every time we finish the presentation of the project, yeah, they will tell us how our team performing. In Malaysia, as far as my team is concerned, at that point of time, yeah, I always we are better even than Singapore, because I've joined the Singapore auditors training in Bangkok. Yeah, we are looking at the MRT Bangkok project. Yeah, and I found that the Singapore auditors, they don't like to share knowledge. Yeah, they always want to keep their secret. Yeah, but we know, Malaysia know, we share everything, because to us, sharing is, helping other people, but at the same time, we enhance our own knowledge. Yeah, but Singapore lain. But they are, we are at par to them, or sometimes we are better than them. Yeah, I feel lah. Okay. Then yeah, do I answer
Yes.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. Okay. That is that land. Yeah. And then, who are the land administrator in Malaysia? Yeah. Okay. There are two organizations in Peninsular Malaysia responsible for managing and maintaining the land administration system in Malaysia. Yeah. Who are they? The Department of Survey and Mapping, they call it. Yeah. The Department of Survey and Mapping, and the land district officers, they are responsible for the cadastral survey and ownership right, respectively. Yeah. This cadastral survey, do you understand what is cadastral survey?
No.
Natia don't understand. How about Imira? Have you heard of cadastral survey before this?
No.
Tak pernah. Siapa yang pernah dengar atau terbaca mana-mana? Okay.
So,
Yeah.
I think cadastral survey normally used when we wanted to pecahkan the boundaries dekat land lah. Based of
Yeah.
my experience in lah, when I was doing the case study in KL lah. So yeah, I think
Yeah, maybe explain further what do you do in your case study. Later on, I will add to the discussion. Yeah.
okay, just to share, basically we did the we proposed the development. Elmina, do you know Elmina? Netira, I think Netia, I think you heard about Elmina, right?
Yeah, Almina. Yeah.
Yes, before we do propose a development. So before we propose the development, we went to the Department of Survey and Mapping Malaysia lah, because they have all the information about the land structure and overall land structure, and then they are using the cadastral survey, which we can define the boundary, each boundary of the land lah. Yeah.
So
Okay.
that is very, very correct. Yeah. And we use this cadastral survey, the DBNA. DBNA? DBNA is Dayak Badayu National Association. Very proactive, because we want to wait for Land and Survey Sarawak. That is the main department involved in the land administration in Sarawak. Yeah, we have the headquarters, Department Survey dan Sarawak headquarters in Kuching. Yeah, and all the division, the bahagian. Yeah, all the division, the bahagian, they have the divisional land and survey. Under the divisional land survey, they have the district land and survey. Yeah. So these are the people involved of saving, looking into the managing and maintaining of land administration system in Sarawak. I think likewise in Sabah they have the headquarters in KK, and after KK, the rest of the other part of Sabah they call it bagian ke apa Amelina?
As far as I'm concerned, the other parts will be, we just call it like daerah.
Daerah, direct to daerah, is it?
Yes, directly to daerah.
Oh,
Even
you don't have the bagian lah. You don't have the division.
oh, we do. For example, Pantai Barat and all those. Bagian Barat, for example, Kota Kinabalu, daerah Kota Kinabalu is in bahagian barat of Sabah.
That means after the headquarters, then you have the wilayah, they call it, is it?
We don't call it wilayah here. I mean,
You call it what?
bahagian.
Bagian juga macam Sarawak juga lah.
Yes,
Like
for example.
Sarawak, we have bagian Kuching, bagian
yes,
Serian,
yes.
bagian Simanggang, Bintulu, Betong, Limbang, Miri, Tapit, mana lagi ya, Leli?
Bagian Sibu.
Hah?
Bagian Sibu.
Sibu, Muka,
Kecil.
Muka,
Seriaman.
10. Seriaman sudah tadi. Hah? Serian sudah. We have 10, is it? Bagian now?
Bahagian
sudah.
Samarahan.
Samarahan, 11.
Samahan.
Ini mau yang saya tertinggal? 11 saja kah? Oke. This ada bagian in Sarawak ya. So yang bagian di Sabah tuh siapa ya? You have KK lagi?
For example, we have like KK, Papa, Pats area.
Tak dengar, Amelina.
Hello?
Sepitang.
Hello, Sepitang, Tawau, and some other more parts
Sandakan?
in Pantai Timur Sabah. Yes, Sandakan is
Sandakan?
between.
And then you have Kota Belud, is it? Also Kota Belud?
Kota Belud is after Kota Kinabalu.
Okay, how many bagian di Sabah?
I'm not actually sure.
Oh, okay. Tak apa. So under this bagian, then you have the daerah, right?
Yes, correct.
District. So there are similarity between Sabah and Sarawak, whereby both had headquarters in Kuching for Sarawak, for Sabah KK, and then you have the bagian. Under the bagian, you have the daerah, in Semenanjung, how Natia?
We just have daerah.
Contoh, let's say we take Selangor, the headquarters in Salam, right?
Yeah, we have.
In
Yes.
Salam, and then dia terus kepada daerah, kan?
Betul.
Ya, dia ada daerah kecil kah? Sub-district?
Sub-district. Not sure.
Not sure. Okay, for Sarawak, we have the sub-district. For example, Serian is a bahagian, my hometown, I know more clearly, Serian is bahagian. Under Serian, we have daerah Tebedu, daerah Seburan, daerah Mongkos or Bunan, and then bawah daerah Siburan, they have the sub-district again of Padawan, contohnya lah, like that,
We only
And
have
for-
district. We don't have sub-district.
You don't have district, you don't have sub-district, that means you finish at the district level only lah.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. How about Sabah? Do you have the sub-district?
I think we do, but I'm not sure about the classification of the sub-district.
Yeah. Normally, the sub-district under the district lah. Yeah. They
Because
maksudnya
we
they they have the district and then they subdivide that district could be into two, normally into two lah, macam tu. So
I don't,
ada juga lah sub district di Sabah ya.
for example, we have like Kota Kinabalu, and then
Yeah.
the Bahagian, and then directly to the districts in Kota Kinabalu. I'm not
What
sure
are the
about
district in what are the district in Kota Kinabalu?
for example, under Kota Kinabalu is like Putatan, Inanam, Gatal, and I don't think we have any sub district after Putatan. I think it's
Oh, that means there's no sub district lah in Sabah.
I think so lah.
Okay. So these are the type of thing that we can share, yeah, so that we can increase our knowledge, yeah. So I was talking about the cadastral survey by land surveys now, for DBNA, yeah, because we want to get to help land and survey to give the land title to the Bedayu land, the NCR land. So we purposely create a committee to survey all the Bedayu Kampong, using cadastral survey. And these people are trained surveyors, licensed surveyors, yeah, using the survey instrument that are being approved by Land and Survey Sarawak, yeah. And as Riley mentioned just now, they use this cadastral survey to determine the boundary between all the landowners near to each other, yeah. So the kampong people must agree to the boundary, yeah. If they have dispute about the boundary, they must settle it among themselves first before the DBNA can do the survey, yeah. Those areas that cannot be settled by themselves, we let it go first, because we don't want them to delay the process, yeah. So thankfully, I think almost 100% of the dispute, they can resolve it. So the survey can be completed, and we have submitted to the government of Sarawak, yeah, for the land and survey to endorse the cadastral survey done by DBNA. And some of the kampong, the earlier one, they have received the land title based on the cadastral survey done by DBNA. And once they have the land title issued, and that is the ownership right of the land, yeah, given by Land and Survey, yeah. Okay, so what is communal land? Yeah, communal land, land that are mostly rural area, yeah. The territory in possession of a community, yeah. For example, in Sarawak, we have the Dayak, most of the Dayak people, yeah. Netia, for your information, the Dayak consists of the Iban, Bedayu, Orang Ulu, yeah. These are the major races inside the Dayak community, yeah. And the biggest races in Sarawak now is the Dayak, yeah, followed by the Chinese, and the third one the Malays and Melanau, yeah. So this communal land is normally given to community, not to individual or company, yeah. And this sort of arrangement existed in almost all of Europe, yeah, until the 18th century, by which the king or the church officially owned the land, but they allowed the farmers, yeah, the peasant to work in the land in exchange for a levy, yeah, they pay a levy, yeah. And in Semenanjung, they have the Malay Reserve land, yeah, Semenanjung. In Sarawak, they call it the Native Customary Rights land. And in Sabah, they use the word Bumi Putra Sabah, is it, Melina? Am I right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Bumi Putra Sabah. You don't have the, that means all the native the Kadazan Dusun plus the Malay community under Bumi Putra Sabah lah, is it?
Yes, under Bumiputra Sabah.
Very good. Yeah. So it's more easy to identify. Yeah. And for Sarawak also the same. Yeah. We have the local Sarawak Malays and the Melanau community plus the Dayak community. Yeah. They can have NCR land also. Yeah. And very interesting, Nitya, you know how this NCR land is existing in Sarawak? Any Sarawakian can want to comment first before I sambung? Before I add, how do we create NCR land? Rally or Edri? Edri, are you there? Edri? He's not in, I think. Hello, Edri? Rally, are you there? Rally?
Yes, doctor. Yeah.
Yeah. How do we create NCR land? I mean, talking about your long house, you're from Kapit, is it? Really?
Yes.
Kampung
From
mana
Kapit.
di Kapit?
Asal from Baleh lah, Nanga Entawau.
Nanga Antawau, I've been there. Is it near the
Hydro now.
near the hydro, yeah? The
Yes.
water, is it clean there now?
Now affected lah, not really clean macam previously lah.
I see. Dia macam melo ya? Air itu macam melo?
Yeah. Tesipeng.
Tesipeng. You know, Nitya, my experience, I was in Cebu, in charge of audit Cebu at the time. And during the election, I was the ketua tempat mengundi in one of the school. Penasu. The name of the school is Penasu. You know where I took my bath? There is no tap water at the time, dry. And you know where I have to bathe? Sungai Rajang. You know the color of Sungai Rajang, Nitya?
No, don't know.
Really, what is the color Sungai Rajang?
Macam color teh tarik lah.
Oh
Teh
my
tarik.
God.
You imagine, I bathe in a teh tarik. Nitya. I ever experienced this kind of life. You imagine, oh my God, Nitya. Okay, really. Yeah, how do we create NCR land? You talk in terms of your rumah panjang.
Sorry, I was muted. I think I'm not really sure because I mean I don't stay in rumah panjang lah. So basically best of previous that I heard from the orang-orang lama lah, and then from the land and survey in Kapit, right? So before dia jadi native customary rights, there must be a land that what they call virgin jungle from the Iban community, and also we do planting fruit trees in the land, and then also we did a cultivation which is on the agriculture lah, like padi huma previously, and then after that baru dia jadi native customary lah. Is it correct that I'm not really sure, but I heard about that.
Yeah, that is correct. Nitya,
Okay.
you know,
yes.
if you are hardworking native,
Okay.
if you can tebang the virgin jungle, 100 acres, 1,000 acres, nobody can stop you. Once you clear this virgin jungle, whatever you can clear, no limit. That land you plant paddy, you plant pepper, you plant rubber, you plant fruit trees, that land become yours.
You tak payah nak beli semua ke?
Tak payah beli. You just have to cut the virgin jungle.
But you must be the first who datang to the land lah. Dulu
Yeah,
lah.
you must be the first lah, because if you are the second, you cannot cut my NCR. You have to ask me my permission if I want to give you. If I don't want to give you,
this must be done by the ancestors lah, betul tak?
betul. Yeah.
Yes,
Because
ancestor.
during my time, no more NCR. Sudah penuh. I'm lucky because my family I inherited land from my mother, from my uncle, and from my auntie. So under me, my NCR land is about 100 acres.
Wow.
I don't need to pay a single cent for this
So
land.
you in future, if you want to sell, you can sell or you can just give for.
Okay. This NCR land can only be bought and sold among the native.
Oh,
Yeah, it cannot be sold to non-native.
Mayo tanah dokter dong.
Mayo. Yeah. I
faham.
also bought some land because I plant oil palm. Now oil palm
Okay,
per metric ton is 1,526. Yesterday I sold mine. Grade A is 1,526 ringgit. And the loose fruit is 1,880 ringgit per metric ton. Very good price now.
Ada kerja ke dekat sana, saya datang tolong.
You're welcome lah for free ya. I don't need to pay you right nanti ya.
Macam mana?
Doctor, I have a question.
Yeah.
I just curious lah on the difference between the communal land and the customary land. What is the difference?
We will come into that later. I have the
Oh,
detail later.
okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. We will discuss on that. Yeah, so that you will see the difference. Yeah, there are differences. Really.
Doctor,
Yeah.
can I ask what is the difference between NCR land and tanah menua? I think Iban ada tanah menua. It's like
Udah pemakai manual lah. Oh,
is it, apa
Imira.
beza?
Imira. Yeah, we're going into that later. Yeah, I will explain in detail there.
Okay.
I have that what they call that that part later on. Yeah, the difference between pemakai menua, NCR reserve, Kampung reserve. You know, ada. Later lah, we go through that later. Yeah.
Doctor, do
Yes.
Sarawak now have any NCR land for the upcoming generation? Tak ada.
That's why I told you. I give one example. My wife Kampong, yeah. You know, my wife Kampong is next to Kuching International Airport.
Okay.
That mean those NCR land in my wife Kampong is a gold reserve. Gold.
Oh.
Because it's in the city. Very expensive land. You know, in city is very expensive land, yeah.
Oh.
And the tua kampong of this kampong, he sold, I heard he sold 100 acres. So he bought his, at the time it's Toyota Prado, I think. Toyota Prado. He built his bungalow because he received a lot of money from the land he sold. You know, I think at the time was 10 years ago. At the time the price, I think 500K, 500,000 per acre. Now I think 1 million already.
Wow.
1 million, yeah.
Masih ada net ya. I pun masih ada NCR land.
Where in
iya
Kuching?
ke?
In Kuching?
No, in Kapit.
Oh, Kapit.
What
You
will happen?
you tanam sawit there, Ellie?
Cannot lah
Sawit is-
because hilly. Our kawasan is very hilly, so it's very hard untuk tanam sawit lah.
Tanam teh.
Just tanam buah-buahan lah. All the buah.
My land is good, lowland and little bit hill only. Gentle hill, yeah. Very suitable.
Nanti land ini siapa yang akan like if let's say ancestors semua like dah pass on, then the parents tak ada anak ke apa ke
For
macam mana?
me, Nitya, I got five children, and all of them have same say. Nobody have more than, all of them own the land. I don't, and I disallowed them to sell the land because I don't sell the land, so they must not sell the land. They must make money from the land, but they cannot sell the land.
Oh, okay.
That is my syarat. If I pass away, all the land belong to my 5 children, but they cannot sell it. But they can make money from the land. No selling.
Oh,
Hmm.
tapi boleh je kalau dia orang nak sell kan? Atau
No, they cannot sell. They can, if they want to build houses. For example, we have 5 acres in the city in Kuching. So if they want to develop it, they can, but they cannot sell.
oh, okay.
Because if they sell, it's easy money, you know. I
Yes.
myself should sell it if I want to sell. What for? I ask them to sell, right?
Yeah.
I'm giving them the right to the use of the land, but no selling. They can make money, but cannot sell. For example, if they develop the land into housing or into building of condo or shop house, you know, they can rent the shop house, you know, but cannot sell because I want them to enjoy the rent forever for their family. Yeah, that is my concept, because I want all of them to enjoy the prosperity together, and then not for one generation, for the rest of the generation. Yeah, but they can buy their own property, they can sell because that is their property. The property from me, they cannot sell. That is the syarat. But they can make money. They can use it. Nadia, can we move?
Yes, doctor.
Okay. So what is meant by freehold land? Yeah. Freehold property title give you full control over the house and the land. And while a leasehold give you restricted ownership of the land in terms of the period, yeah, the number of years specified in the lease. Yeah, for leasehold, there's a number of years specified in the lease. Normally, the term is as long as 999 years. Yeah, this is also happening in Sarawak, 999 years. Yeah, and I don't know what is the years in Semenanjung. Sometimes we even have 100 years for Sarawak one. Yeah, but freehold no tempo. Freehold. That mean perpetuity. Yeah, ada tempo. NCR land no tempo. Yeah, they have title forever, infinity. But leasehold, there's a tempo. Yeah, I think the maximum is 999, and it can be also below 100 years, maybe 50 years, 80 years, 90 years. Yeah.
Doctor, I have 2 questions.
Yeah. Who's this?
O'Reilly again.
Really?
Who defines the freehold and leasehold? And then another one is that can we say renew the leasehold tempo? Yeah.
Yeah. Who defined the freehold? Is defined by the for Sarawak is the Sarawak Land Ordinance, whereby the minister is given the power. For NCR and native land, Bumiputera land, normally they are in perpetuity, no tempo. Yeah. For leasehold is also decided by the minister based on the land ordinance. Yeah, they must follow the provision in the land ordinance. Yeah, and the leasehold can be extended provided the government have no use of the land. What normally the government use? The land is for public purpose. Yeah, it cannot be used for private purpose. Tak boleh. It must be for public purpose. Yeah. Kalau the land is not used for public purpose, normally the government will renew the leasehold. there is no case, no problem on that. Yeah, really. Is that answer your question?
Yes. All right.
Okay. So how can we check our land title in Malaysia? This includes Sabah and Sarawak. Yeah. First, you conduct a land search on your own accord. You can do the land search. This can be done either through your lawyer or you can do it yourself. Yeah, online or at the land office counter. Yeah, you approach the respective land office for consultation in your case, or turn to your trusted lawyer. Yeah, to help you to sort out maybe there may be some legal tangle. Yeah, caveat, for example, caveat. My uncle then land. This is the real problem, whereby he signed an agreement with this developer to develop the land within 15 years. Ada disebut dalam perjanjian tu 15 tahun ya untuk to build the houses, to develop into housing ya. But in the caveat power of attorney, the power of attorney given to the developer, there is no tempo. Macam infinity. Be careful ya. When you surrender the power of attorney in terms of caveat without giving tempo, you are actually surrendering your land to the developer. Yeah. So upon the expiry of the agreement, 15 years, the house was not developed. Yeah. Nothing is done except land clearing, up to land clearing level only. But the power of attorney, no period. So until now, the case cannot be solved. Cannot be solved. Yeah. Even getting the lawyer, yeah, to get help, report it to the police. Until now, the case cannot be solved. Yeah. So very important. Yeah. When you give the power of attorney to develop your land, make sure you clearly state if after a certain period of time, the developer failed to deliver the house or the project as per the agreement, yeah, the power of attorney automatically lapse. You must put the tempo there. Yeah. Okay. So next one. What is the difference between public land and private land? Yeah. There's quite a difference between private land ownership and government land ownership. Yeah. One of the difference is that private landowners pay property tax. Yeah. Property tax. And the government does not pay property tax. Yeah. Private, state, and local government and public agencies such as school district or water district, they can own land. Yeah. And for the government agency, yeah, they did not pay the property tax. Yeah. So why was the National Land Court created just now? We mentioned this now, yeah, to ensure uniformity of law and policy with respect to land tenure, yeah, the registration of title related to the land, the transfer of land, maybe from the father to the children, or from the individual to the company, leases and charges in respect of the land, when you lease and the charges that we impose, the easement is something to do with easiness now, and other rights and interests in the land. Yeah, everything is easy to do according to the SOP, to the process. Yeah, and the court established the legal regime of the land title. Yeah, what are the process that must be followed as per the National Land Code in order for you to get your land title produced, yeah, given to you. Yeah, okay. And the classification of land, yeah, the classification of land title and the land usage in Malaysia. Yeah, this part we will look into it, and the rest of the notes. I think I need to go very fast after this, yeah, because saya rasa banyak lagi, ya. We have to go through. We have to move very fast after this, yeah. So now is 9:30. Is it break time now? Nanti ya? Nanti ya?
Yes, doctor. Yes, yes.
Yeah. So now is halfway through the class, yeah. And I would like to call group 3 later, yeah, to present the last half an hour, yeah. Group 3, yeah. Please get ready your draft, present it, yeah, so that the rest of the team can learn from yours, yeah. For that, we stop to rest, and then we will speed up after this. We have to speed up in order to be able to cover all the notes, yeah.
Okay.
What time we come back, Nadia?
9:45.
9:45, yeah. So take your rest, take your drink. If you have not breakfast, take your breakfast, and we will meet again at 9:45. Thank you.
Okay.
Hello, welcome back to the class. Are you all in? Now
Yes,
it's 9:45.
Doctor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. As I promised, I will go fast. If you have any question, just ask. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Now this classification of land and land usage. Yeah. There are two types of land title, which is freehold and leasehold. Yeah. So the common title land in Malaysia. Yeah. Town lease TL. Yeah. Generally, land classified within the town. Leases can be 99, 60, or 30 years old. Yeah, and then country lease, CL, also known as mixed zone. Yeah, land classified outside town area. They also can have freehold. They also can have period. Yeah, 999, 99, or 60 years. Then you have the native title, NT. Yeah, classified for native on in perpetual basis. Yeah, perpetuity. Yeah, the practical bankable value for financing normally are lower than other form of leases. Yeah, because of the restriction in dealing limited only between native. Yeah, this happened for Sabah and Sarawak. Yeah. Also, I think for the Malay Reserve, also they have lower value normally. Yeah, and land classified as Malay on also perpetual basis. Yeah, and the practical bank value is as what the native title sama juga. Yeah, and you have the field register FR. Yeah, land classified under native title. Yeah, it is temporary title which land office has not yet to issue the final title. And then you have the provisional lease PL. Yeah, sometimes they call it PL. Yeah, provisional title issue during the time of Her Majesty. Yeah, any land with PL. Yeah, provisional lease are to be recommended to be re-surveyed prior to development and normally converted into CL, country lease. Yeah, CL, country lease. And then you have the temporary occupation lease. Yeah, TOL. In Sarawak also we call it TOL. Yeah, as stated, it is a lease granted by the state government to lease the land to you for certain amount of years, certain number of years, with certain amount of annual rent. Yeah, you have to pay the rent according to the period given. Yeah. So all of the above land title contain such information as land type, title land, CL is what you know, country lease or native title, and etc. Then you have the title number, the date that this title is registered or expires. Yeah, how much is the annual rent, any special term. Sometimes they give a special condition. Yeah, the land side, the site plan, the owners of the owner's name. Yeah, and generally land are being categorized for usage as below before the title was issued. Yeah, A, agriculture, falls into the title of native land, Malay Reserve, country lease, provisional lease. Yeah, generally for agriculture usage. Yeah, in the majority category. And residential falls into Malay Reserve, country lease, town lease. This has higher bankable value than agricultural land, but less than both below. Both below mean commercial and industry. Yeah, under commercial you have falls into country lease or town lease. Industry fall into country lease or town lease, and others. Yeah, others usage can be timber extraction. We do have some timber in West Malaysia. Yeah, in certain states like Kelantan, maybe Pahang. Yeah, and Sabah and Sarawak. Yeah, sand, extraction of sand, rock, minerals, etc. Falls into temporary occupation lease. Yeah. So these are the National Land Code summary. Yeah, applicable in 1965, enforced in all states except Sabah and Sarawak. I've mentioned this now. And then you have the Land Acquisition Act, the Strata Title Act, yeah. Then you have the State Authority. State land is vested in the State Authority. For example, the State of Pahang or the State of Selangor. The State Authority is the government of Selangor, yeah. For Sarawak, the State Authority is the Sarawak government, yeah. For Sabah, it's the Sabah government, yeah. And then you have the constitutional issue. Land is a state matter, yeah. Only the state legislative can make law with respect to land, yeah. And land is under state list, yeah, under Article 74 of the Federal Constitution, under 9 schedule, yeah, Schedule 9. But exception, yeah, power of the Parliament to make law under the state list for the purpose of uniformity. That means Parliament can make the law, but the state must give the consent, yeah. And then you have the 5 features of the National Land Code. You have the register of the document of title, RTD, yeah. And then the register, the retain at the registry or the land office and available for public to inspect. Then you have the issue document of title, ITD, yeah. And then kept by the registered proprietor, the owner of the land, yeah. And then evidence of ownership, yeah. Registry title and land office title, the final title and the qualified title and the strata title, yeah. The conclusiveness of the register, yeah. The register document of title, RTD, yeah, or the register. They use 2 principles, the mirror principle and the curtain principle, yeah. And the register is everything. This is stated in the case of Tehbi and Marutamutu, whereby the register in the land and survey department, yeah, or the mapping department, it tells us everything about the land. That's what it means, yeah. What is the meaning of the mirror principle, yeah? It means the register reflects all the facts and interests of the land, such as the name of the owner, the land description, the area of land, particulars of the person that have been registered in interest on the land, yeah. So this section 340 of the National Land Code, yeah, the title or interest of any person or body or the time being registered as proprietor of any land or whose name any lease, charge or easement is for the time being registered, yeah, shall subject to the following provision in this section be indivisible, yeah. Nanti kita tengok what is the meaning of indivisible, yeah. So what is the curtain principle? Yeah, the curtain principle, it means a potential land buyer may only need to look at the register to get the information on the land that he is interested in without counter checking with other document. Tak perlu pun dia check other document, they just need to see the register, cukup. That is the curtain principle, yeah. So under section 89 of the National Land Code, yeah, every registered document of title duly registered under this chapter shall be subject to the provision of this act be conclusive evidence. That means that is the final evidence. That is what it means, yeah. So the register is everything. This is as I mentioned just now, yeah. Under the case of TB versus K Marutamutu and Krillman versus Hudson Bay Insurance Company, yeah, to enable an investigation to take place as to the right of the person to appear upon the register, which he hold the certificate, which is the evidence of his title, would would be to defeat the very purpose and object of the statute registration. So in summary, it means the register is the conclusive evidence to show that this is the real owner of this land with all the description about the land. Yeah. Okay. So the meaning of indivisibility just now, yeah. Indivisibility of title and interest is guaranteed. Yeah. That means the registered title of the real property, whether land or building, yeah, building on the land, determine who has the priority interest or ownership of such property. Yeah. So the land title tell us the real property in the building there, and who has the priority interest, yeah, or the owner of such property. That is what the meaning of indivisibility. Yeah. So under section 92 1 of the National Land Code, yeah, the alienation of state land to any person or body under final title shall confer on that person or body a title to the land which shall be indivisible. Yeah. So section 340 of the National Land Code, the title or interest of any person or body for the time being registered as proprietor of any land or in whose name any lease, charge, or easement is for the time being registered shall, subject to the following provision of this section, be indivisible. So it's very, very important, yeah. However, there are exceptions. What are the exceptions to this indivisibility, yeah, of title? There must be no fraud, no forgery prior to registered interest or prior to certificate of title or misdescription. Yeah. So this is the exception. Yeah. There must be no fraud, no forgery prior to registered interest. Yeah. Or prior to certificate of title. Yeah. Registration, the importance of registration. Yeah. Under section 206 1B National Land Code. Yeah. No instrument effecting any such dealing shall operate to transfer the title to any alienated land or, as the case may be, to create, transfer, or otherwise affect any interest therein until it has been registered. That means the land has to be registered first before any transfer or any alienation can be done. Yeah. For example, a purchaser does not acquire legal title until the transfer to him is registered. Yeah. So the transfer to the purchaser must be registered to make it legal. Yeah. So the dwelling recognized under the National Land Code must be registered or endorsed. Sometimes they use the word registered. Sometimes they use the word endorsed. It means the same thing. Yeah. So the transfers, the charges, and the leases, yeah, and the tenancies exempt from registration, such through lines or caveat, yeah, it is clearly stated in the registration, yeah. And the caveat system, yeah, the caveat system is to protect an unregistered interest, yeah, to protect the interest of unregistered, yeah. There are 4 types of caveat, yeah. Number 1 is registrar caveat, yeah. Who is the registrar of land in the land authority? Is the land and survey, yeah. In Semenanjung is the land and survey and mapping, yeah. In Sabah and Sarawak is the land and survey department, yeah. Registrar caveat is when the registrar of title or the land administrator, which is the land and survey and mapping department or the land and survey department, yeah, deem that it is necessary or desirable to prevent fraud or improper dealing to protect the interest of the state, yeah, or if there is an error on title document. So the registrar can protect the interest through registrar caveat. But you also can have private caveat. Yeah, it's designed to ensure that the purchaser of the property has protection against the owner selling it to another party. Yeah. So if there is no caveat, if the owner sell to me, he can also sell to Cleven, the same land. But when I put the caveat, private caveat, he cannot sell the land anymore to another party. Yeah. So if you have a caveat lodged against a property, the owner is prevented from selling until the caveat is settled. Yeah. And then you have the lien holders caveat. Yeah. A caveat centered by an individual or entity. Yeah. Entity means company or organization which hold the document of title as collateral for specific purpose. For example, when you apply for bank loan, okay, with the bank, yeah. So you have the lien holders caveat, yeah, and then you have the trust caveat, the last caveat, yeah. The only caveat entered by the registrar of any land or interest belonging to an individual or entity, organization, yeah, as a trustee, yeah. So you have the trust caveat for trustee purpose, yeah. And then no adverse possession, yeah. No adverse possession against the state nor against the registered owner or proprietor of the land. Yeah, the title to state land can only be acquired by the process of alienation and no other. Yeah, so if you want to get title to state land, you can only acquire it through the process we call it alienation. Yeah. And no other method, only alienation. Yeah. So section 48 of the National Land Code, no title to state land shall be acquired by possession, unlawful occupation, or occupation under any license for any period whatsoever. Yeah. So under section 341 of the National Land Code, adverse possession of land for any length of time whatsoever shall not constitute a bar to bringing of any action for the recovery thereof by the proprietor. Yeah. So under this section, that means the owner can still bring make court action, yeah, to recover the land. Yeah. So this is provided under this case, yeah, SIDIC and OS versus the state of Perak. Yeah. In 1982, the case name is M1MLJ 313. Yeah. So the reversion to the state, yeah, alienated land will be reverted to the state, given back to the state under several circumstances. So this is provided under section 46(1) of the National Land Code. Yeah. Number A, upon the expiry of the term, if any, specified in the document of title, yeah, sudah expired, yeah. And then B, upon the publication in the Gazette of a notice under section 130, that is to say, a notice published on the making of an order of forfeiture by the land administrator on the ground of non-payment of rent, or you breach the condition. You don't pay the rent, or you breach the condition. Yeah. So you have to give back the land to the state. Yeah. C, in circumstances mentioned in section 351 and 352, which relate respectively to the death of the proprietor without successor. Yeah, the proprietor die, nobody to succeed. And the abandonment of title by proprietor, or the proprietor himself abandon the title. Yeah. And D, upon the surrender thereof in accordance with provision of part 12. Yeah. In this case, the proprietor surrender the land title. Yeah. so it go back to the government. Yeah. So equity, failure to register or non-compliant with the requirement of National Land Court, for example, unregistered charge, failure to enter a landholder caveat. Yeah, the National Land Court is not concerned with dealing which do not comply with the requirement. Yeah, so in this situation, there is no remedies under the National Land Court. Yeah, so would equity apply? Yes, of course. Yeah, Section 6, Civil Law Act 1956 exclude the application in Malaysia of English land tenure, yeah, including the English equitable principle relating to land tenure. Example, the Mongago equity of redemption, yeah. So under Section 6 of the CLA, yeah, nothing in this part shall be taken to introduce into Malaysia or any other state comprised therein any part of the law of England relating to tenure or conveyance or assurance of or succession to any immovable property or any estate, right or interest therein. So this case is under the Haji Abdul Rahman versus Muhammad Hassan in 1917, yeah, AC 209 case, yeah. However, there is nothing in the NLC, yeah, nothing in the NLC that prohibits the application of general equitable principle. Therefore, the general equitable principle applied by virtue of Section 3 CLA to the extent that they are not inconsistent with the National Land Court. Yeah. So another provision is the Section 2063 National Land Court, where it states that the provision of the National Land Court which require that dwelling be registered shall not affect the contractual operation of any transaction relating to allocated land or any interest therein. So this is stated in Mahe Devan versus Manilal and Son, yeah, 1984, MLJ 1266. Yeah. So whether the National Land Court is comprehensive court of land law in Peninsular Malaysia? Yes. The National Land Court is complete and very comprehensive. Yeah. I think this is one of the most comprehensive land court I've read. Yeah. Whereby it governs the tenure of land in Malaysia, and they even talk about the incident of it as well as other important matters affecting land in Malaysia. And there is no room for importation of any rules of English law in that field, except insofar as the court itself may specify. Yeah, unless the court stated clearly, yeah, there is no room for English law, yeah, in our land court. Yeah. So what is QT? Qualified title. QT is qualified title, and FT is final title. Yeah. So until this is conducted under qualified title and final title, yeah, qualified title and final title, land area is mere provisional. That means dia jadi provisional dulu, yeah. And then after the final title can only be issued after the final survey. Remember we talked about the cadastral survey just now of the land has been carried out by JUPEN, yeah, Jabatan Ukur dan Pemetaan Malaysia. Yeah. Okay. So what is alienated land in Malaysia? Alienation is a form of disposal, selling lah, yeah, that give rights on the land, ownership through the document of title. Yeah. That is the meaning of alienation land in Malaysia, yeah. A form of disposal or selling, yeah. Disposal means sell, yeah. So the document title which is registered confer ownership that is protected by the law, yeah. As we explained just now, is in the feasibility of title, yeah. Under the federal constitution, yeah, it guarantees ownership of property through Article 13 of the federal constitution, yeah. So in Malaysia, land are being properly governed, yeah. But the question is whether the people in the authority office, yeah, in the land survey and mapping office, whether they have carried out their job according to the SOP, yeah. That is more on implementation, yeah. And in short, we can conclude that our Malaysian law have applied the doctrine of deferred indefensibility, whereby the meaning of deferred indefensibility, yeah, only the title registered by bona fide third party. Bona fide mean true. It really exists. Yeah. Bona fide third party purchaser is immune from any other attack from outside. Yeah. He is immune from any other attack from outside. Attack mean penipuan, yeah. Sometimes fraud. Yeah. And such third party must prove that he possesses and obtains such title or interest under the land court. Yeah? So that is the meaning of indivisibility of title. Yeah, indivisibility of title, loss of land through fraud. Yeah, so take note. Yeah, land fraud has been common in the last 15 years in Malaysia. Yeah, including Sabah and Sarawak. Yeah, it was an unforeseen consequence of the court decision, yeah, in Adorona properties, yeah. So the main issue of this particular case, yeah, was that a property was fraudulently transferred using forged instrument without the knowledge of the real owner. A third party bona fide purchaser for value acquired that property using forged instrument, yeah, without the knowledge of the real owner, yeah. So just now we talk about the governing law, the National Land Court, yeah. I think I don't need to repeat this, yeah. They are talking about cases, yeah, explaining cases. One of them is Adorna property, you know, and the other one is Tan Ying Hong and versus Tan Xian, yeah, 2010, yeah, which overruled the case of Adorna property, where the federal court has reinstated the doctrine of immediate indefensibility to our Malaysian law. Yeah. So now this doctrine of immediate indefensibility come back to be enforced in the Malaysian law. Yeah. And under Tan Ying Hong 2010, yeah, deferred indefensibility, the current position. The current position is it is stated back in our land court. Yeah, so that is the current position. Yeah. Then what is the meaning of good faith? Yeah. So recently our law has developed further. See, our law can develop further. Yeah. Through discussing the definition of good faith in the provision section 3403 of the National Land Court. Yeah. Good faith means sincere. Yeah. Sincere is used synonymously with Latin phrase. It comes from the word Latin, yeah, from Latin word phrase bona fide. Sometimes some people pronounce it as bona fide, but I pronounce it as bona fide. Genuine, yeah, real. It means genuine or real, yeah. So in the recent case of T. Sivam, anak lelaki, they didn't state here siapa ya, 2018 ya. Or the federal court had an opportunity to reconsider and revisit the meaning of good faith under section 3403 of the National Land Code, yeah, whereby the dispute was about the competing claims on the same piece of land between two parties, namely the original registered owner of the land and the Chaji Bank, yeah, who was the subsequent holder of the interest in the land, and both were affected by the fraud of the third party. So the crux of the dispute was whether or not the registered interest of the Chaji, the bank, and the subsequent holder of the land would be protected under section 340 National Land Code. Yeah. So they explain further all this good faith, yeah, and the conclusion, yeah, that the Malaysian law have applied the doctrine of deferred indispensability. So they apply that rule, yeah. So it's reinstated in Malaysia, yeah. So this is the meaning of indivisibility. Now I already mentioned it, yeah. When can you surrender and alienate the land, yeah? Okay. The registered document of title means the actual document or original proof of ownership of the land, and that is kept in the registry of the land office, yeah. How many type of land in West Malaysia we have mentioned is now? How many type of land in Sarawak we have mentioned? Sabah, so the same. How to check our land title? I mentioned it. What is the PT in land title? Yeah, we have mentioned it. The qualified title. Yeah, the PT number is the reference number given to the individual title during the registration. That is the PT number of the qualified title, QT. Yeah, and you are given the lot number for reference. Curtain principle, I already explained. What is property without title? There is separate document of title of the property, either the same held in possession of the property owner in cases where the owner is buying by cash, or he has settled the bank loan with the bank, yeah. Or in most cases, the original title is held by the bank as security. For government servant is held by the housing authority, yeah. For government servant, for private sector, or those taking bank loan is held by the bank, yeah, as security. Sorry, I have to go fast, yeah. Now it's 10:18 already. This is the note on the Malaysian land title registration system. Maybe you can read, yeah. If you have problem, you can consult me. This is good note, yeah. What does free title leasehold, yeah. We mentioned it. Qualified title, final title, we mentioned it. Register title, land office title, categories of land use, we mentioned it, yeah. Agriculture, industry, building, the condition and restriction of the usage, yeah. The express condition, express mean clearly stated, for example, requiring or prohibiting the cultivation of a particular crop or a description of crop, for example, rubber, palm oil, coconut, paddy, nipa, saga, maybe this is sago, I think fruits or vegetable, yeah. So that means they clearly state that repeating the area used for any building structure. These are specific condition. Then you have the implied, yeah. Implied mean not directly stated, but you can see from the sentence in the condition, yeah, affecting the land, yeah. For example, of implied, yeah, no building can be erected on the land other than a dwelling house. That means a dwelling house means one dwelling house, or the owner or the employed staff, yeah. This is one example, yeah. And restriction in interest, yeah. Restriction in interest in limiting import by the state authority, yeah. And property type in Malaysia, you have residential property where all of us stay, or house in the town, residential houses, condominium, apartment. We have in Nanyong, yeah. We have in Sabah and Sarawak also, service apartment. We have it all over Malaysia. We have commercial property, retail store, shopping mall, yeah, office building, vacant land. You have free land. We mentioned it, leasehold. Malay reserve land. We mentioned it now. And orang asli, I mentioned it now, yeah. Orang asli, it must be understood for the indigenous population, orang asli, the indigenous population. Land does not represent simply a possession or mean of production, but it is very important for us to understand the special and profound spiritual relationship of the indigenous people with the Mother Earth as basic to their existence and to all their belief, custom, tradition, and culture. The same with the Dayak community. I'm sure the same with the Razan Duzun in Sabah, yeah, whereby land is also the way of life, what they believe, their custom, their tradition and culture, yeah. It is related to Mother Earth, to land, yeah. So the orang asli, they have Sabah and Sarawak, the Bumiputra is protected under the Federal Constitution, yeah, under Article 153. But this provision does not extend to the Aborigine living in Peninsula, to the orang asli, yeah, not extended to the orang asli. So the orang asli, they have the Aboriginal Peoples Act 1954, yeah, only for the orang asli, whereby they have the features of the native title, yeah, and they have the land occupation, yeah. They can also transfer land among the Aborigine. You cannot trespass into Aborigine land. You can be sued by the orang asli, and I think they have won cases in the court against the government, yeah. I think if I'm not mistaken, Kelantan government, you have to pay compensation, yeah, under the federal condition to the orang asli if you acquire the land for public purpose, yeah. They have the cases, Adong bin Kawau and others versus Kerajaan Negeri Selangor, Kerajaan Negeri Johor and ANO, yeah. And then the rights also can be extinguished according to customary land rights, according to the custom, the orang asli custom, yeah. And also Sabah and Sarawak, also they have their own custom, yeah. So conclusion, yeah, the right of the orang asli in lieu of the federal constitution stated in the Aboriginal Act just now, 1954, yeah. And however, it does provide legal recognition to the position of the orang asli as the original land settlers in Malaysia, yeah. So for Peninsular Malaysia, it is recognized that the orang asli are the original land settlers, yeah, in Semenanjung. We don't have orang asli in Sabah and Sarawak, yeah. So under the Land Court Bill provided heavier penalties, yeah. Under Section 145 of the National Land Code, the fine is raised from 10,000 to 500,000. The jail term is from 1 year to 15 years. Yeah. And I think it happened because of the Cameron Highland case. Yeah. They take into action because there's a complaint from the public. Yeah. So the amend 70 section and include 3 new sections. Yeah. Covering extension of period of ownership and electronic delivery. Yeah. and revenue collection system, disposal procedure, and land development. Yeah. They register 100,000 lot, which only take 2 months. Yeah. Imagine if you do it manually. Yeah. So the biggest problem in Cameron, this is happening. Yeah. Uncontrolled clearing of forests and even covering the water catchment area. Yeah. So leads to landslide because of intense rainfall, yeah, throughout the year. And the two main economic activities, tourism and agriculture. Yeah. How does it affect the water quality? When pavement building, little rain soak into the soil. So they cause high runoff. No soil, no plant to reduce the speed of the rainfall to run. You know? So the stream flow with high peak and low flows in between and poorer water quality. So this is what the auditor found out. Yeah, they do the audit. Yeah, and there are massive problem in the land administration. Yeah, the problem never seems to be going down. Yeah, ada influential hand or allegedly compounded environmental issues. Yeah, some higher authority who can influence decision. Yeah. So the audit national department led to the decision to audit on the handling of land and permit issue. Yeah. Whereby the district official could then review their mitigation measures and act accordingly. Yeah. So the audited the condition slope on the highland where development and illegal activities were carried out in gazetted areas. Yeah. Several gazetted areas development are not allowed, but they open for farming. Yeah. And development, even to temporary occupation TOL. Yeah. So this is related to misuse of power. Yeah. And the issuance of the toll even started in 2001, the frozen. Yeah. Yeah. They're supposed to freeze, but in reality, no. They keep on issuing. So the department was waiting for reply from the authority. Yeah. They had the report in 2013. So this is the finding. Yeah. Misuse of temporary license at the Cameron Island. This is what the AG report found out. Yeah. Many business misuse the temporary TOL. Yeah. Homestay, commercial, residential, as well as farm. Toll offered temporarily use government land. Yeah. The license attached with certain condition criteria determined by local authority or the Cameron Highland District Land Office. Yeah. So the Auditor General found out not only were permanent building and farm established on the land, but the business had also flouted the land use. And some even expanded their operation, thus breaching the space requirements set by the TOL. So what are the breach? Yeah, the land use breach. One license holder, business operation, lavender garden. Yeah, open to public for fee, but under the TOL, the land is for agriculture, but they operate business. And another holder, license holder, set up restaurant, flower garden. That land is for residential. Yeah. So they build the homestay. And original is for agriculture use. They only pay annual license fee of 809, RM 809 only paid up to 2021. So for 2022 to 2013, they did not pay. Yeah. Another license holder flouted the stipulation on the crop allowed. Allowed only napier grass, banana, jackfruit. But the 12 acres of land cultivated with palm oil and rubber. Permanent building erected. Yeah, the license holder sold 2-story shop in Tanah Rata. The annual fee RM 142 paid until 2011. 2012, 2013 don't pay. Yeah. So the license holder 2-story house on one piece of land. Yeah. The ringlet despite a clause stating only temporary building allowed, but they build permanent building. So these are the example, yeah, whereby they did not follow the term of the TOL, yeah. So you can read, yeah, the quite a lengthy finding, very good finding, yeah. I'm speeding, yeah. We have half an hour left, and then the Sarawak Land Court. For Sarawak, just now you asked the question of the native land, yeah, mixed zone land, mixed zone. Okay, this is the classification of 5 land, mixed zone, native area land, native customary land, reserve land, and interior land. These are your questions just now, yeah? So this is the explanation under the Sarawak Land Code. Yeah, mixed zone, native land area, native customary land, reserve land, and interior land. Mixed zone is for all Sarawakian, native and non-native. Native land area means other than mixed zone, held by native under a document of title declared to be such under sub 16 declaration made under the former land code, the former ordinance, yeah, and which become native area by virtue of subsection 4 of section 4, which become native area land by virtue of direction by the minister. Yeah. So reserve land means land reserved to the government under the provision of section 38 of land code. Yeah. Comprise national land park under the National Park Ordinance, forest reserve, protected forest reserve, communal forest. Land declared under section 6 and 7 of the land code is under reserve land. Yeah. And then the native customary land. This class of land where native hold the land under customary tenure, no tempo. Yeah. Land within which can also be declared as mixed zone or native area land. Yeah. And this land in which native customary rights, whether communal or otherwise, have lawfully been created prior to first day or January of 1958. Yeah, before 1958, and still subsist, yeah, until now. Yeah, and land from time to time comprised in the reserve to which section 6 of the land code, Sarawak Land Code. Yeah, so the native customary right on the native land can be created by the following method. Really, the felling of the virgin jungle I mentioned just now, planting of land with fruit trees, cooperation, cultivation, use of land, burial ground, use of land for any class of right, any other lawful method. Banyak cara orang Sarawak, orang native boleh dapat tanah di Sarawak, ya. And interior land is residual land not falling under any of the above four. Kalau tidak fall any of the above four, they become interior land. This category of land mostly unsurveyed land and cover the largest land mass of Sarawak interior. Interior land can be subject to native customary rights. That means the native can claim to the right to this interior area land. So the native of Sarawak are very, very fortunate. Ya. Yang rajin tuh kaya raya tanah lah orang Sarawak. Okay. Section 18, I have to go fast, sorry ya. Explanation by our Premier Dato' Abang Johari on the NCR land. This is the Sabah Ordinance. The main legislation for Sabah for the classification of land and provision of land right. Yeah. The ordinance covers collection, revenue, land survey, demarcation, enforcement, penalties for offences related to land and land ownership. The same also for the land ordinance of Sarawak. Yeah, it covers the collection of revenue also, land survey, demarcation, enforcement, penalties for any offences related to land and land ownership. Yeah. So what is native title land in Sabah? Land classified for native owned and in perpetual basis, infinity, no tempo. Yeah. Their practical bankable value for financing lower because it's only dealing with the limited native. Yeah. As compared mixed zone. Mixed zone normally the value is higher. Yeah. So how to buy a land native? You can read it. Yeah. And what is customary native title in Sabah? Land inherited property often passed down from one generation to the next generation, yeah, within the family. And the ownership of the customary land and the law related to it are governed by the adat. The adat system relevant to the local community. It the same apply to the native in Sarawak. Yeah, they have the adat that run or administer the system of the customary land in the village level. Yeah, in the village level, it headed by the Tua Kampong in the Bedaya area. Yeah, if the Iban they call it Ketua Rumah Panjang. Yeah, and in the Bumiptra of Sabah, what do they call it at Kampong level? Amelina?
Hello? Hello?
At Kampong level in the Bumiptra community in Sabah, how do they call the head of the Tua Kampong? The head of the kampong or the village?
I think it's just a typical Ketua Kampung. We don't have like specific title for it.
So it's a typical by
Yeah,
the what the name of Ketua Kampong also lah.
but I'm not sure for those like Kadazan Dusun. I'm not sure what they call their head. But for us,
I'm not sure. But for orang Bedayu, we call it Ketua Kampung. For orang Iban, they call it Tuai Rumah Panjang kah, really? Betul kah?
Tuai rumah.
Tuai Rumah. Tuai
Yes.
Rumah. But the Melanau also, I believe that Emira, you Melanau, Emira? Fazana Melanau.
Ya, saya Malang.
What do
Yeah.
you call your kampung level, Emira?
Ketua kampung
Kota kampung so.
I think so. I'm not
Okay.
sure. I think ketua
Okay,
kampung.
I think so. Yeah, kampung. I always go to Dalat and Muka.
Ketua kampung,
I
right?
think they call them Tua Kampung. Yeah, Tua Kampung Dalat. They call it Kampung Dalat. Yeah. Okay. So I'm sorry, I have to be fast. Yeah, and we have only now is 20:39. Yeah. So the balance of the time is I call group 3 to share your draft, but I haven't reviewed your draft. But we can share from your draft. Yeah. Can I unshare now? Group 3.
Sure, Doctor.
Are you ready?
Sure. Okay. I will share our draft.
I stop sharing. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now you can share your draft. Yeah. You have 20 minutes only. Yeah.
Can you see the screen?
Yeah. Can see clearly. Yeah.
Good morning, Dr. Ambrose and the other classmates. So my group will be discussing on the case of Wan Sulaman Sabah. The breach of contract is that this project has been abandoned for so many years. Basically, this project was initially constructed in 2009, was supposedly to complete in 2012. However, in middle 2015, it was still not completed, to the point that it has to be taken over by the government in 2016, and the new developer has been appointed in 2017, but to date, the construction has not completed yet. It has been 13 years of construction.
Until now, 2022.
Yes. Yes,
How many years is it? How many years?
13 years altogether.
My God.
Ah,
Apalah orang Sabah ni tidak pandai manage project. Kacau you
this,
saja.
so this
Kacau you, Malina. Sorry ya.
it's okay. This is a very complex construction, because it is amounting 160 million of construction cost. It is a mixed development of commercial retail lots, houses, condominiums, water theme park. As they mentioned during the commencement of the project, but so far there are no theme park to be seen. Condominium towers have also not been completed yet. Moving on to the this is basically the instruction. Moving on to the work breakdown structure. This is a basic work breakdown structure for a mixed development project. And as we can see, it starts with initiate, next planning, executing, monitoring, and control, and finally is the closing. Supposedly, it should be initiated in 2009, and the closing should be done in 2012. However, since it was abandoned,
Where are they now? Which stage are they now?
still executing, but I still think that planning and executing simultaneously.
Oh my God. Okay.
Because the project actually has started in 2009, but it was behind the schedule, behind the work program they have planned. It was only 18% of the first parcel that has been completed after 3 years.
I'm sure the cost now increase, I suppose, yeah?
Yes,
Melina?
yes, increased, but I don't know about the new contract cost, because the new developer has been appointed by the government, since this project has been declared abandoned in 2016. But the interest and rights of the retail lot buyers and the home buyers have to be protected. Thus, new developer has been appointed in 2017, and the construction project has resumed ever since 2017, and it has been 5 years now, but still have not completed.
The 5 years, yeah?
Yes. Probably because they have to clean up the mess that the initial that the original developer has made, and then only they can proceed with the new project. Not the new project. I mean, to resume with the existing project. So I think the most problem in the work breakdown structure is the planning. There's a saying that goes, if you fail to plan, then you're planning to fail. So I think the problem with the work breakdown structure for this project is that the planning is not done properly. Because if they plan properly, they will not have to abandon the project, the development, I mean. So
bad planning, yeah, very good.
This is a very bad planning, because every development is a complex development, but if you plan properly, you can complete within the given period of time. And even if you have to delay, you will have to apply for an extension of time. You will not need to have 13 years and still the project is not completed. There is no development.
Maybe minimal delay, yeah.
Yes, if you have to delay probably a year, 1 year of delay is already bad, but it's 9 years of delay. So it does not only affect the developer, that they have to be they have to be declared bankruptcy and insolvent. Government also has to take actions on this, especially on the rights and interests of the home buyers, because they pay loans, they pay 10% during the deposit, and another 90% progressively paying, and still paying until now, but their houses are nowhere close. Nowhere
to be seen, yeah.
Yes. Nowhere to be seen. Even the building is nowhere to be seen, but they are still paying off loans up until this day.
Sampai bila mereka mau bayar ya?
Yes, exactly. And also is that after the change of the new developer in 2017, they were asked to add some more money. They have already been paying for the house that they have not lived in, but they are already asked to pay another amount of money for a house that they have not yet seen. So I think
Do you know the value that they have to pay? The additional
I'm not
amount?
so sure, but the additional cost was, if I'm not mistaken, was 180 per square feet, additional cost.
Based on the research that we have found, yeah, they have to pay around 187 every square feet. Yes.
So, for example, if your
Very
house is
very good case, yeah. Very good case study.
so, for example, if the house is 1,100 square feet, so it's an additional 198,000 ringgit additional to be paid for the remaining
My
years.
God.
Mm.
My God.
Uh,
And the house you cannot even feel it, yeah?
Yes,
Yeah.
not yet to feel. You cannot even see the house yet.
You
So,
pay angin lah, Amelina.
pay angin lah, sir.
Pay angin.
Pay angin lah. So,
Kasihan, kasihan.
so the problem, the most important thing in the work breakdown structure is that you have to very plan properly. You cannot just execute and monitor and control, because if you can monitor and control, you must have a good planning. So at the end of the
Yeah,
day, for
because
closing,
yeah, because Amelina, in order for you to implement or execute well, you have to base on the planning.
yes, exactly.
Yeah. So without good planning, you can't implement.
Mm.
How do you monitor if there is not good planning?
So,
Okay, carry on.
supposedly in 2012, this project should reach the project closing, which is the completion of the project, releasing of the certificate, releasing of the occupancy cert for the lot buyers and the home buyers to fill in. But it was not done because it was not completed yet. Therefore, they have breached the conditions of contract, because in the conditions of contract, you have to complete your project within the specified time period, and not being able to obey to comply to that conditions of contract also means that you are breaching the conditions of contract. So not only
Betul,
that they
correct.
so not only that they are breaching the conditions of contract, they are not actually doing the obligation as a contractor. Because when you sign a contract
They
document,
fail to produce the output of the
yes,
project.
exactly. Yes, true. Because we understand that in a construction project, delay is we cannot say that's normal, but it's very common. Delay in a project is very common, but there are always ways for you to mitigate the delay. You cannot just let go with the delay. So they have not completed their obligation as a contractor. That's the very first. That's the very clear problem. And they have also violated the Housing Development Act as well, for not being able to complete and for not being able to satisfy the needs of the client for this particular project. So moving on to the current problems, there are many causes. Our group has identified two main reasons for this case study, which are the causes and the impacts of abandonment. So, for example, the first cause is that the problem with our system of sell then build system, the STB system. The STB system is usually for this project. The house and the lot were sold 100% even before the construction has started. So this also means that the lot buyers have already paid for their deposit even when the construction has not started yet in 2009. So this is a very common problem in STB, because usually STB system will just leave the project abandoned at the end of the day. STB problem STB system also leads to problems to the developers' financial management because they always receive the money, but they are unable to plan the money properly. So when they fail to plan their financial properly, this is where it happens that you have insufficient resources, insufficient materials, insufficient machineries, and that is why you delay your project, and that is why the project is finally left abandoned. It all starts with your financial management from the very beginning because they know that they are receiving money every month from the home buyers because there are progressive payments made to them from the bank, but they have failed to produce a good cash flow of money. So this is the same thing that happens to Wan Sulaman Gold and Platinum Towers. This is a statistic report released in 2017 by the number of abandoned houses, abandoned projects. As you can see here, in 2017, almost
This one is
37%.
for the whole of Malaysia, is it?
Yes, this is for the whole of Malaysia. For example, in
Okay.
2017, 37%, 37% of housing projects have been abandoned. At a total of 64,640 houses. And it has affected 43,686 home buyers. This is a very huge amount. And this is also happening
That is
to
the
Sulaiman.
highest lah in 2017, yeah?
Yes. Between 2013 and 2019 lah, doctor, because I haven't found the details for 2020 and 2021.
2019, 2020 belum ada lah.
Maybe it has been released, but I have not yet found the statistics.
Yeah, at least there's some indication there, good enough lah, yeah. But if you can have the 2019, 2020, 21, that would be better lah.
Okay, I'll try to get the 2020, I think, because for the 2021 statistic, I think it's still not out yet because it's still in March. Maybe,
Okay.
but I will try to check.
Okay.
Next is the poor enforcement and monitoring from the government agencies. Many researchers have agreed that once the especially for private developers, private projects such as this Wan Sulaman, it is a private project, so probably that is why there is less intervention from the government sectors because they're probably because they are not the client, right? So so there are poor enforcement and poor monitoring from the government agencies, whereby at the end of the day it has to be finally taken by the Ministry of Local Housing, but it was taken by Ministry of Local Housing in 2016, 7 years after the construction of the project and 4 years after it has been abandoned. I think the government should take early precautions when it was abandoned and directly take actions and not wait 4 years after the abandonment of the project because waiting for 4 years.
Amelina.
Yeah.
Amelina, maybe point to us under what ordinance or under what act the government can monitor this project from the beginning, yeah? Point to us and then relate it to this problem, yeah?
Okay. It will be the Housing Development Act, if I'm not mistaken. I forgot the name of the act.
Tidak apa, nanti you can highlight to me, yeah? You can
Okay.
highlight to me.
It's a Housing Development Control and Licensing Act 1966.
Yes, that's the name of the act.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that means, in other words, there is a law.
Yes,
there is a law. The clause in the
Yeah.
law that the government can monitor from the beginning, but they fail.
Yes. Maybe there are monitoring that has been done, but probably very poor on the enforcement of law and the monitoring of the project. I will not say that there is no monitoring at all from the government, but maybe poor monitoring from the government.
Poor monitoring, yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Not only that, researchers have also agreed that usually abandoned mixed development is due to the mismanagement of the private developers, because it is understandable that private developers will strive for profits, but as much as they strive for their profits, they are not delivering their works properly. And some also agreed that probably lack of knowledge and experience is also one of the causes for the projects to be abandoned. But I will not say that the developer of Wan Sulaman is lacking in knowledge and experience, because if he does, he will not be able to have 160 million construction cost of project. It's a very huge project. It's a mixed development project. So the developer must be someone that is experienced and full of knowledge, but probably the planning has gone bad from the very beginning of the project. Next is the effects of the abandoned housing projects. As I have mentioned earlier, the party that has suffered a lot from the abandoned housing projects is the house buyers and lot buyers. Because they have agreed to pay the installments, they have signed the sales and purchase agreement, and usually there are those coming from the low and middle income groups. They have to pay loans, they have to pay debts for the house that they have not seen. But luckily, the developer of this one Sulaman project is still traceable and contactable. At least they didn't run away. They have been fined as well for some amount of money that will be explained later in the penalties. Not only that, the developer will lose their profit, lose their trust by the citizens, and it will not be easy for them to get any projects in the future. They may have been blacklisted as well. When they have been blacklisted, it will also be hard for their workers, for their laborers to find job right after this.
When you mention about the statistic, please provide the data, yeah,
Okay.
because that makes your finding solid. Data makes your finding solid, yeah.
Last but not least would be the wastage of resources, because it results in underutilization of resources. For example, for the materials that you have bought, that you have prepared on site but cannot be used, for the machineries that you have rented, that you have delivered to the site, which also couldn't be used, and as well for the skills and workmanship of the workers, which they actually worked for nothing, because at the end of the day, the project is not completed. I think that's all for the effects and costs of the abandoned projects. For the section,
you have to speed up, Malina, speed up.
For the sections, it is as we mentioned earlier, the Housing Development Control and Licensing Act 1966 and PEM 2006 with quantities. They have in this housing act, they have this part called duties of a licensed housing developer, in which the developer of Wan Sulaman project has to obey, has to comply with, and failure to do so also means that they are breaching the act that they have used, and the act that they have signed during the commencement of the project. That's the same goes for the PEM 2006. Where they have not complied to the contractor's obligation to the date of commencement and completion of project, and for the damages for non-completion. Moving on to the penalty, I will pass to Nur.
Okay, so for penalty and fines as provided under Act, Ordinance, and Code. So the first one will be the Housing Development Control and Licensing Act 1966. So here, there is a law where the minister have the powers to give directions when the licensed housing developer are unable to meet his obligation on his purchases, or to suspend his building operation. So in this Housing Development Control and Licensing Act, the minister have the power to direct a person be appointed or himself appoint a person to advise the licensed housing developer in the conduct of his business. So in this Wan Sulaman Sabah case, the minister already appointed other developer to continue for this project. Okay, the next one, is the construction contract. Can you scroll down, Emelina? Okay.
Eh.
Yeah. Okay. The next one will be the construction contract. So in this construction contract, there is also item 11.7.1, which is liquidated damage. So if the construction contractor fails to deliver the completed work within the time frame, he is obligated to pay or enable the client to pay or allow a sum computed at a rate specified in the contract agreement as liquidated damages for the time the relevant works remain unfinished. So this is where the issue happened as Saga Juta was unable to complete the project, which results in abandoned project. So the breach of contract would be based on the construction contract. And also in Delhi Express, which is the news about this project, Saga Juta also owing to its bankruptcy or failure to pay its outstanding tax arrears on time. So this is related to Public Ruling 3/2006, item 14.6, retention, where it stated that progress billings must be included in the gross income of the contractor for income tax purpose when they are made for payment. So since the project is not yet to be completed, there is no retention money that Saga Juta can claim on these abandoned projects. Okay, so
Wait, Zati,
yes,
what is the rate of the LLD is now? You not mention.
rate of
Never mind. You put it. Yeah. What is the?
okay,
Every time you mention about the penalty, you
yeah,
must include the rate. Yeah.
okay, noted on that. All right. Okay,
Just now you're
so
talking about the retention money. You also put
yeah.
the value of the retention money. Yeah.
Okay. Very- Okay, so the next item would be on the proposal to overcome the problems or issues to the top management. So here, the main reason of the way to overcome this abandoned project is to come up with a proper project planning from the start of the project deliverance.
Okay.
So as yeah,
Okay. Wait, Zati. So
okay,
your first proposal is proper project planning. So you put
yes.
it under 6.1.
Oh, okay.
Proper and comprehensive project planning. You put it like that. Yeah.
I
On
see.
the
Okay.
subtitle.
All right.
So every time you have the subtitle, you put that subtitle topic. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
And it applies to all of you. Yeah. All the group. Yeah. Okay. What is the
Alright.
next proposal?
Okay, so the next one would be on the communication with the works. So it is also related with the proper project planning. So with good communication, there would be no problem in knowing the scope of the projects, and also it ensure the project will be delivered smoothly. So the next item after the project planning, I would put as effective communication among the project team. Is it okay, doctor?
Okay, did you mention any problem on communication just now in the problem statement? Ada tak? Ada. Kalau tak ada, then you have to include that one in your problem statement tadi lah.
Okay.
I see.
Communication problem ya between the parties ya.
All right.
Any more proposal?
And then no more. Then I will go to the conclusion.
No, one more just
Yeah.
now. You remember the problem of the housing project in Malaysia? They sell first without building
Sell
first. Why not you propose? Why not you propose to the management? Build it first, then can sell. You know, propose to the management and to the government of Malaysia through the amendment to whatever act, yeah, whereby
Alright.
we ask the government to make sure that they build the house first, only then they can sell. This is the way forward, I think lah.
Okay. Yeah.
We actually have the BTS system as well. Doctor,
Is
the
it?
build and sell. Yeah, yes, we do have options.
So that one you can put it in your recommendation again. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, go to your conclusion.
Okay, so as a conclusion, issues of abandoned projects in Malaysia has been normally occur where the case of one Sulaman Sabah gives a big impact, especially to the buyers and the developer, as the development is one of the biggest development in Sabah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
negative impact, yeah, negative impact, yeah.
Okay,
Bukan positif, negative.
give you back.
Okay, and any more?
So the problems on site should be evaluated and mitigated as early as possible to avoid major penalty in the future. So from this finding, housing development, PAM 2006 and construction tax plays a vital role in ensuring the project conducted is always be in line with the acts and regulations.
And also you can include in your conclusion your major proposal. I mean your big proposal just now lah. You can mention it in 2 or 3 lines.
Major proposal, can you
As-
explain
as
more
per-
on that,
as-
Doctor?
As per your proposal just now, you just in your opinion, which is the very important proposal lah. Maybe you can include, not necessarily include all, maybe you take 1 or 2, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, my overall comment, this is good presentation, yeah, whereby they are able to discuss and analyze the problem with literature review, yeah. Maybe for the planning part, you can also quote past research, you know, that talk about good planning, yeah. I think I have not seen that literature on that part, yeah. And make sure the problem you list it down according to heading.
Okay.
Subheading like
Alright.
like what I teach you for the proposal just now, yeah. So that easy for the
Yeah,
reader to read, you know, and also for me to give the mark. It's quite easy, yeah. And I also say the marking scheme. If you want to get A, you have to follow the first criteria, yeah. The first criteria too. If you can fulfill that criteria, I have no problem to give you full mark, yeah. So when you read your draft again, make sure you read the criteria on how the faculty can give you full mark, yeah.
Okay.
So you must work towards answering that criteria. I've said it in the group, right?
Yes, you sent it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Any question from the members before I close the meeting? Now it's 11:08. Any
From
question?
the other classmates or from
Yeah, other of your classmates. If no, tell me no. No question?
No question.
Okay, if no question, I will do my part to read again your draft. I haven't read it. I already download.
will you send the comments to us?
Yeah, I will give you the comment. Paragraph by paragraph. I will highlight in red. Yeah, I will highlight in red. Yeah.
Okay,
So this comment that I do while we are going through it, you can send it to me by email. Yeah, and I will add my own comment also in red. Yeah, and when you do the amendment, do the additional amendment, put it in green color. So that is the new improvement you bring it to your draft. Yeah. So I want to see the improvement so that I can differentiate your old draft and with the input I give you. Okay. The one include Nitya, your group, yeah, Nitya. So with that, I conclude this class, and I would like to thank Group 3. You have done a good draft. I see the way I see it. Yeah, your explanation is quite solid, supported by literature. Yeah, and there are lack of data. I see that. I notice a lack of data, and every time you come out with recommendation with issue wise, you must put the heading. Yeah, so that easy for people to read. Yeah, people to read mean like me, your lecturer, the external examiner, later on, yeah, the MQA, everybody will read, yeah, easily your answer script, yeah. I mean your group project, yeah, assignment, yeah. And to all of you who have given your sharing your experience, your knowledge, yeah, thank you very much. Keep on doing this, yeah, because everybody win when when you're willing to say your knowledge, your experience, yeah, and it adds to your own knowledge at the same time, yeah. So with that, I close the class and
Doctor, sorry.
yeah,
Yeah.
really.
Can we have a separate sessions for me to show the draft to you? I mean, after this class lah, can lah?
Now you mean? Boleh.
Yeah, boleh. Maybe I invite
But
you through.
you have to what do you
Teams.
call that? Prepare the link.
Teams.
Yeah?
I will. Yeah. I will invite you the link lah. Using the Teams, Microsoft Teams.
Boleh.
Okay, thank you very much, Doctor. You're the best. Okay.
Yeah, of course, I do my best to help you to get A, but you must do your part. I cannot do it alone because my job is to guide you. Your job is to do it. Okay? Right? Hello? Why no sound?
Okay, sure, Doctor.
Yes.
Okay. So can I leave now?
Yes.
Yes, sir. I will WhatsApp you answer.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
So,
doctor.
Thank you.
thank you, everybody. Have a good weekend. Yeah.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, doctor.